You can pivot quickly on your digital advertising, but you're locked into a space. There's a huge switching cost in real estate and space. So you really want to get something that's going to work, and there's a reason that a cheap space may be cheap. You can pivot quickly on your digital advertising, but you're locked into a space. There's a huge switching cost in real estate and space. So you really want to get something that's going to work, and there's a reason that a cheap space may be cheap, and
Yeah.
it's worth having a good space and room to grow and good visibility. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I get it, right? Like it's scary because, when you talk about increasing the rent, like sometimes you can even double your rent, right? So, I mean, one example, we worked with a guy, he was paying $3,000 a month in rent, and the next like viable location that was good with good visibility, in a retail center with lots of traffic was 10 grand. So it's like, wow, I'm gonna go from 3 grand to 10 grand a month. And that seems like crazy because you're tripling, you're more than tripling your rent. But when you consider it as a factor of your overall expenses, it's only 5 to 10% maybe. And what happened was when he tripled his rent, but he doubled his revenue. So he went from like 50 to 100 grand a month in revenue. And so it's like that 7 grand extra in rent ended up paying dividends in return. And so a lot of
Boy,
times
did it.
you can, looking through that lens, I think can help people kind of ease their fears about paying more for, because rent is scary because it's locked in. But it more often than not, if you're in the right location, it's going to be worth the investment.
Yeah, and sometimes those numbers that, well, that's an extra, $3,000 or $7,000 a month. When you break that down to what you need per day or per hour of extra business, those become very manageable numbers. And say, look, how much traffic or volume will I get from this? There are other ways to economize. If you're landlocked in a building, you're kind of out of luck. You can't grow without moving. You don't have to build a Taj Mahal building, though. If you have space, you can finish out part of it now and build more over time. And it's worth having a good space and good visibility and give yourself some flexibility to grow. You don't have to have the fanciest finish out initially, but invest in the quality location and the infrastructure.